Let's wait for some people to join.
Hey.
Do 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 do.
So let's do this. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Retweet. Heart. It's done. Okay.
And then I'm gonna hop in chat, so I'll be monitoring chat as well.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Just waiting to see if
That's really good. Eat Geek Sleep you buy Pepsi with lime. JK.
yeah, sponsor. Not really. Okay, cool. Rich, whenever you're ready, take her away.
Okay. You gotta give me the finger point. I'm not starting until you give me the finger point. That's a new rule.
Okay.
Hey, here we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Eat, Geek, Sleep, Repeat. I am your humble host, Rich, and I'm here with my co-host, Justin and Taylor. Say hi, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
We are a pop culture podcast. Oh. Anything else, Taylor? We are a pop culture podcast, and we record weekly here live on Twitch at 10 p.m. Central on Tuesday nights. We basically the last two episodes have just been Game of Thrones centric, but we're gonna come at you with some more stuff today. A little bit of it's life, right, guys? All right.
Taylor, did you catch any of that?
I did not.
Rich, I was with you all the way up until the end.
I said we're hitting them with more variety because variety is the spice of life, right?
Okay. Yes, I agree with you on that.
Okay, good.
Taylor, you with us?
So,
I'm with you. I'm with you. You know who's not with us anymore? Okay, go ahead. We'll talk about it.
Let's let Taylor start since he had the biggest problem with the episode. Let's let Taylor start.
Yeah, so starting out with, if you're listening, starting out with Game of Thrones. Spoilers. Taylor, go ahead. And we're not going through the whole episode. We're just hitting big beats.
Of course. That's fine with me because I wouldn't want to relive this dumpster fire of an episode.
Hot take.
There are so many characters that just took super massive steps backwards in their character development. Sam's was last week. Missandei was this week. Daenerys has been making strides backwards for a while. And then also Tyrion, I felt like definitely made a really stride backwards, as well as Sansa. Now I am. Let me preface that by saying I am a Sansa fan. I do like the character.
False.
But what they're doing now, the whole dichotomy between her and Daenerys is unnecessary. It's very cringy and very uninteresting to watch to me.
And see, I am on the opposite side of the fence. I love it because Sansa is like the only character that I think can see through Daenerys's games that she's playing. The games that I've called from the very beginning whenever I said that Daenerys is not a good person and that she does everything basically to better herself in the end.
Well, if I may say something here, I 100% disagree with Taylor when it comes to the character fallbacks of Sansa and Tyrion. If anything, Tyrion is the glue holding this very thinly held together. Just, I don't know what to describe. If it wasn't for Tyrion, Cersei's archers would have fired.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, wrong Lannister brother, not Tyrion. Jaime.
I can see how you would get them
so
mixed
yeah,
up.
Jamie.
Yeah. No, Jamie's character just completely season one Jamie.
No, and
And-
see, I
oh.
know.
He went back to
I
fuckboy Jamie.
nope. I completely disagree. I utterly disagree. Jamie, everything he's doing has an intention. You know, he's spoilers again if you're just joining us. He slept with Brienne, which we all saw coming from a mile away. So did she. Bazinga.
Except for Tormund. Tormund didn't see that coming.
True. But like when Jamie left, this is just him doing what he has to do. He's not running back to Cersei because he loves her, and he's just doing the whole hero thing of like looking like a bad guy so that way nobody follows him and nobody comes after him or tries to stop him.
But why? But why? Brienne is a knight, is a badass fighter. Like things could have been left off on a better note. Honestly, if he would have stayed in Winterfell with Brienne for the rest of the show, I would have been all right with that. I understand that he's going back to hopefully kill Cersei, but it was handled very poorly.
If anything, he's going back to. If anything, I think he's going back to King's Landing so Cersei doesn't get killed.
Nah,
I think he's going back. Realistically, probably for both of those. Like, I think he wants to basically give her one last shot. Like, hey, you're not going to get out of this alive. I know you're not. Please change your ways. Obviously, she's not going to listen. And then I think he would be the one to do what has to be done. And I think also because this is a shorter season, I think that is kind of why some of that was rushed. Like, you had to have the whole Brienne and Jamie thing. It had to happen. Otherwise, what was the whole point of their connection?
We're 2 weeks away from the end. 2 weeks away from the end.
That's true. We only have 2 more episodes and then it's done. And that's insane. But we'll see what happens. Let's see other big points.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was Sansa. I don't like how they're making her out to seem so like petty against Daenerys. Like, yes, she's smart, but also like in the scene where she does give good advice, like, you know, like, oh yeah, these people should rest. And then Daenerys asks her like if she had talked to the officers, and Sansa's like, well, no. And then I was like, why didn't you were having this meeting? Why didn't you talk to them beforehand? Why didn't you find out the information beforehand to back up what you're saying?
I don't know, man.
Petty. They're making her out to be petty, and I don't like it. I like her character.
Okay, this is my take on it. They're lining her up for something, and I think this is going to be it. This is like way out there, but just go with it. I think they're lining Sansa up to be the queen, and Tyrion's going to be her hand.
Nah, they're making her out to be a worse Littlefinger, and I hated that guy's guts.
I don't.
And
think she's, I don't.
No,
think
she
she's
does
a
not
worse
have her. No.
That's my take. That's my take. They're making her out to be
She
this
doesn't
like
have
petty
her hand
person.
in everything like Littlefinger did. She doesn't have her hand in everything like did. Littlefinger deliberately set all of these things in motion to get us where we are now.
She does though, because
Now
everyone's together now.
I don't. She's not lying about anything. That's the thing. Littlefinger lied and manipulated. Sansa literally is just telling people the truth. Like, Daenerys shouldn't be trusted. You could see that she was.
She should though. She
why?
should.
Why? Because she saved a bunch of slaves? No, she didn't save a bunch of slaves, Taylor. She recruited an army. If she just cared about those slaves, she would have just left them over in Essos.
They followed her. She didn't make them follow her. They followed her of their own free will.
She had dragons that burned their masters.
She has 3 dragons.
They were not full grown yet.
They were okay. They were
They
bigger
still
than
burnt the shit out of them.
they were big enough to kill a lot of people. Because
Yeah.
that whole Coliseum
Also,
scene was they weren't fully grown and they fucked up that whole city.
I I I don't know,
These
man. I just
they love her. Okay, they did free. She did free them from these horrible people that were doing horrible things to them.
Notice
Did it
how
did it benefit her? Did it benefit her? Yes, but it was also a good thing to do.
the
but
one thing I
she did
agree.
not do it just because it was a good thing to do.
Okay, so the only thing I agree with Taylor on when it comes to Sansa is this: she told Tyrion, knowing that Tyrion is going to go tell Varys about who Jon really is.
Wait, what?
I agree with Taylor when it comes to Sansa on one point, and that is that she told Tyrion about who Jon really is, knowing that he would go tell Lord Varys.
I wouldn't say that she knew that he was she.
Yes,
I
she
don't.
did.
Well, no, I'm not saying that she didn't know he was going to tell people. I'm just talking about Lord Varys in particular. I don't think she necessarily cares about that. I think that I think she genuinely thinks that Jon is the better of the two, and I think most people can agree with that.
She knows that Varys is for the realm, as he said. He's made it known many times that he is for the realm. So if that little bit of information gets leaked to Varys, he's going to do everything he can because he knows that she knows that he knows that Jon is a better leader.
That's true, but also like Varys has probably one of the best outlooks on all of this. Is like I genuinely think he is for the realm. Like in the beginning, they kind of make him out to be a very wishy-washy, like just jumps on the winning sides like person. Um but now it's starting to become like more and more apparent like he genuinely does just try to back the best person in his opinion. And
And
I think that's good. Like I don't think that you should necessarily have allegiances to one person just because that was the first person you made allegiances to. I don't know. Like there's a sense of loyalty, but then there's also a sense of like stupidity. If you know that
Yeah.
someone's not a good leader, like the Mad King, for example, why back him up? You know, and characters like Jamie and other people have revolted against those people because they knew what was happening was not right.
I will say that that outlook is probably going to get him killed.
Oh, most
If
definitely.
if they're continuing with how they're writing Daenerys, which I don't agree with, but whatever. Because he did give that line last episode. He was like, "I told you that if I ever thought you were making a mistake, I would tell you." And then whenever he said that, her reply back in season 7 was like, "If you ever betray me, like I will kill you." And I was like, "Ooh." They brought up the first line, and the second line is going to be next episode.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Can we get
the Red Woman did say that he's going to die in this country.
Can we give a shout out real quick, get off subject to Wheelchair Brand in this episode? Yeah, his great line of, "You wouldn't want to be me. I live in the past mostly," and then he just gets wheeled away like a boss.
Yeah, I'm as episodes have gone on, I have expected less and less of Bran, and he's meeting my expectations now. You know, before I was like, he's gonna do amazing things. He's gonna go back in time and change everything, and it's slowly gone down from there. And now I'm like, yeah, he's probably gonna sit in a chair, say something very vague, and people are just gonna nod and stare politely.
They had
And it works every single time.
they had that scene with after the war meeting of Tyrion and Bran having that conversation, and so I thought whenever they were going to talk in this one, Tyrion was going to say something to allude to that. Nope, no insight into that conversation, and that seems to be a really bad trend of this season so far. They just aren't showing you something, and so much is happening off camera that you're supposed to just kind of assume, or that they're just not going to tell you about it all.
Yeah, that does seem like it's the maybe the internet's popular opinion is that this show has um, kind of reaching its end as far as like story wise. It just isn't what it used to be, and to some extent, I agree with him, and then in other ways, I'm still enjoying it very much. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
if you think about it, most of these characters got their payoffs already. So, I mean, Bran is Three-Eyed Raven. Arya is the savior of mankind. It's looking like Jon is going to be. He is what they want to be the leader if everybody finds out. Daenerys is looking like she's going to end up just like her father. Um, I don't know what Cersei's endgame is, honestly. I never have known what Cersei's endgame is, besides just for her to be on the throne.
That's it. That's what it is. That's her ultimate goal.
I would say her
I mean,
ultimate goal is looking out for her and her family. I mean, I think I think Daenerys, her ultimate goal is to end up on the throne. Like she was literally telling Jon, "Let's just lie and not tell anybody." She was doing like the fake crocodile tears and everything, and then as soon as it got to that moment of like, "No, you're not listening to me. I don't want you to tell anyone." Like no tears, nothing. Her goal is to end up on the throne, and that's
When
Cersei's playing the whole "you're my baby daddy" game again,
Yeah.
with Euron this time though. Do you think they're going to play on him noticing that Tyrion knew she was pregnant at all?
No, Euron's an idiot, and I don't think they're good. I don't think they're good enough writers right now to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if they do play on that. Although, if they do decide to acknowledge it, I'm thinking maybe he tries to use that against Cersei, and then Cersei kills him. I could see that happening. He kind of threatens to maybe tell everyone or something. I don't know, and maybe like while he's asleep, she like chokes him out or stabs him or slits his throat or something. Yeah.
I did want to go back real quick. When Daenerys said she loved Jon, I do believe that she meant it. I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that all of that was fake. That all of that was for nothing.
I'm not saying it's fake. I think that you can love someone for ulterior motives. I think she loves what he can do for her. Give her the North.
Daenerys.
That's not love, man.
You got rose-colored glasses when it comes to Daenerys, man. I'm sorry. It's just she's
bad. You're all gonna see how good of a person she can be. Okay, I promise.
Taylor just doesn't want me to be right. What I've been saying since like season 6 or 5 or however long I've been saying this.
Even if I 100% agree with you, I just don't want you to be right out of spite.
Exactly.
But also, I have reasons and facts to back this up.
Anyways, predictions.
Well, last off, Missandei was beheaded by the mountain.
Yes, Missandei got her dome cut off, and then Viserion.
Rhaegal.
Oh yeah. Rhaegal. He got shot.
Yeah, by a huge crossbow.
In the middle of the episode, as they were flying, I thought to myself, I was like, armies scout ahead wherever they go, right? Like they always scout to make sure, they know where the enemy is. And as soon as I had that thought during the episode, whoop, arrow just hits him, and I was like, oh no, they didn't scout. They're stupid.
No,
I mean, surely they would.
And now we know why Jon wasn't on the dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, plot armor.
Yeah.
Like, just good thing I wasn't there. But yeah, so they died. And then we lost people just to goodbyes. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Like Tormund just saying goodbye. Sam saying goodbye.
My boy Sam, what even is his story? His climactic moment was doing nothing and getting Ed killed in the final battle.
His climactic moment is going to be that he writes the story of Game of Thrones. Because that's the most cliche ending that I guarantee that the showrunners will come up with. It'll be him, pen to paper. I've already called it, pen to paper. You're going to see what he's writing. It's going to zoom in. A Song of Ice and Fire. Boom, fade to black.
Terrible.
It's on the internet.
Also, he impregnated a wildling, guys. Let's not forget that.
You know,
And they're gonna name him John.
it gets lonely. It gets boring. There's only so many books you can read.
Good for Sam, man. Good for Sam. Shout out to Ghost. I would have petted you, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
predictions?
So Grey Worm had this, Grey Worm is going to do something stupid. Daenerys do something even more by burning everybody alive.
She's not going to. She's not going to.
Taylor,
Daenerys is going to show how good she is.
Taylor, do you remember the visions of Daenerys being in the throne room covered in snow?
Yep.
That wasn't snow. That was ash.
Mm.
What's the snow gonna come from?
She's
no
gonna
Night King.
She's gonna remember that, and she's gonna be like, "No, like I'm not gonna become my father. I'm not gonna do that. I'm better than this."
It's too late. It's in her blood. It's her destiny.
It's just like a rabid pit bull, man. When you're inbred like that, it's gonna take over eventually.
So there you have it.
Not all the Targaryens were bad. Rhaegar was a really
But they
cool,
were all
nice dude.
but they were all inbred. So
Yeah, but like
all
the one thing doesn't match
that
the
inner
other thing.
fury. Her mind is gonna boil because of her mom and dad being related, and it's just gonna go.
That makes zero sense. What you're saying right now.
I just want to make you mad, buddy.
Causation does not mean correlation.
Anyways,
Sorry,
Okay.
the other way around.
Yeah. Anyways,
scoring.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a I gotta give it like a 3.5.
Oh my god.
It is probably
wow.
also on, I think on Rotten Tomatoes it's at like a 56 or 59%, which is like the second lowest,
You can't trust Rob.
next to Unbroken Unbent, or Unbowed Unbroken Unbent, which is I think the episode where Sansa married Ramsay.
Yeah, but also that's just the internet. So, you know.
It's terrible episode. Terrible episode. All right,
No,
go on.
people aren't going to go out of the way to write good reviews.
I'm giving it 7 princes in Cersei's belly out of 10.
I will go, man. I really like this episode. It reminds me of like good old Game of Thrones, full of like political ongoings, you know, making deals, backstabbing, people dying. I think I'm gonna give it an 8. Who put that Starbucks cup on the table out of 10?
It was Sansa. She's out for Daenerys.
We forgot to mention Gendry getting rejected and Bronn. Those things happened.
Oh yeah. I mean, lots of things happen, but we're not gonna go over everything.
Yeah. But I do think Bronn showing up has major implications on what's going to happen, though.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't know what they're doing with Bronn anymore. He like, even I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy that whole conversation.
There's 2 episodes. They're not gonna do anything with Bronn. There's bigger fish to fry.
So why have him there? Why have him there at all? Why have that scene?
Because you have to tie up loose ends. Because otherwise, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what happened with this?" It's like, "Oh, Ghost leaves. Bronn makes a deal, and dies." I don't know. Like people are just they're gonna tie everything up like super quick, so that way there's not loose ends, but it's not satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's move on.
Let's move on to Endgame. We've all seen it multiple times. I don't think we have to say this, but spoilers for Endgame. Let's revert and do our ratings first before we get into our thoughts. So, Justin?
Ooh, my ratings for Endgame?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I don't know. A 9? Damn near perfect.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I mean, I'd give it a 10. I don't want to say 10 because that's perfect.
Right.
But there's
Everything can get better somehow.
yeah, there's always. I'm gonna give it like a 9.5. Like it was everything that I desired in a movie, just like to encapsulate 11 years, 22 films. Just it was, my heart was happy throughout the entire thing.
Rich?
I'm going to give it 8.5, only because they're losing half a point because of the over comedic kind of feel of the movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
Other than that, yeah. Other than that, it was great. But okay, let's go into our thoughts now. Let's break it down to first hour, second hour, third hour, if you want to. That'd be easier, I think.
Yeah, I mean, or just in general. I mean, so let's just quick things. Like, so movie starts out and the first 15 minutes are insane. Like, I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah.
what is happening? You're getting again, spoilers if you're just joining. Okay. So you're getting Thanos' head chopped off. You have Iron Man getting saved by Captain Marvel. Like, you're getting all this stuff that I thought was going to take place over the whole movie in like 10 minutes. And then
It was
boom,
on site with Thanos, man. Jesus Christ.
and then boom, it hits you with the 5 years later. It's like, whoa, this is going somewhere I did not expect. But it was really cool. And then
Thanos just
like,
wanted to solve his grits, man.
yeah, like, so the beginning of the movie is very different than what I expected. Then it gets to the middle half, with like the time travel and everything, and that I think was exactly what I expected from the movie. And I will say, in my rating of giving it a 9, something that I think that detracts from the movie that not enough people talk about is the movie ends so strongly, that I think it makes people forgive a lot of the stuff that happens in the middle of the movie. The time travel stuff, most of it is pretty weak. Like, honestly, a lot of it is very just boring storytelling. Like, not even good character development or anything. I mean, you get Natasha and Hawkeye. Their whole thing is it's really interesting. These two characters have been together for pretty much the whole Avengers series, or franchise, and it's only fitting that it comes to an end, for them, like, together. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
But then you have the whole Thor on his planet, and that was just so boring. Him and Rocket just don't. It's two comedic characters that just don't bounce off each other. I don't know. It was boring.
Which makes you
And
think
then-
where Guardians is gonna go, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And then you have New York, which was cool because it plays off of just all the nostalgia factors of like, hey, remember whenever we did that scene? That was cool. Remember that other scene?
I like that we
was
got
also
Hail-
cool.
I like that we got Hail Hydra from Cap. Like they did it a different way than the comics did it, but we
It
still
was
got
a
it.
it was a
nice.
nod. It was a nod to the comics for sure. I didn't expect that. They set it up to where it's like, oh shit, he's about to beat all these dudes' asses. Like, it's gonna be awesome. And then he just Hail Hydra.
If he had beaten them all up again, I still would have been happy.
Oh yeah.
But it made me even happier that he was just Hail Hydra. Like that made me even happier. But
That also shows how much Captain America's grown. Like, I don't think that old Captain America ever would have even thought of like being manipulative like that.
you mean the one that he fought
Yeah.
a couple seconds later
Yeah.
himself?
Winter Soldier changed Cap a lot, though. So I think that's where most of his development came through.
And Civil War.
Also, this is the end game. You don't really need that much like character development, like you said. Like, all these people should already be developed at this point, and we should know where they're heading. And the time travel stuff, they kind of set their own rules and then also break them at the same time. but to me it kind of felt like, you know how at the end of a season the like second or third to last episode will be like an episode where it kind of goes back over the events of the series.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of like what this felt like to me. It felt fitting that they went and revisited all these moments, all these like really big moments in their past.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even necessarily have a problem with, you know, some people are pointing out, you know, plot holes and, oh, how does this time travel work and yada yada yada, and the Hulk. I mean, he kind of sums it up with one catch-all sentence and is like, you can't change the future, because if you change the future, how would you have gone into the past to then have that change to begin with? So however it happens, the universe corrects itself to where no matter what you do, the future is going to remain the same. And so that kind of eliminates most of the plot holes. But like I said, there's just, I don't know, there's just boring or bad storytelling in the middle. Like I don't know, just they spend a lot of time with Nebula and War Machine, whenever really nothing happened. Like, they kind of sat around for a while. They knock out Star-Lord, which was funny. They get the stone, they go to teleport back, and then she gets caught. She doesn't get to come back. But it was just a ton of like, okay, I get it, let's move on.
It wasn't even that long.
It was, though.
It was like maybe less than 2 minutes of the movie.
No,
I'm willing to bet it was less than 2 minutes.
The 70s stuff that we got, that was nice.
The 70s stuff, yeah, that was the coolest part of the time travel. Tony Stark getting to talk to his dad, that was probably, I'm not gonna say my favorite part of the movie, but it was up there. Like, it was a conversation that needed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he told them everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be okay. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was probably a super important part of the 1 in 14 million possibilities that could have occurred.
Yeah. And then the last hour, which was just chaos in the beginning, and then election, and then question, and then realization about what we lost. I don't think there's a more badass move in all of the villains that I've seen than Thanos just telling Nebula, go get the gauntlet. I'm just gonna wait. And he just waits for them to come.
It was very Voldemort in the Forbidden Forest kind of thing. Whenever he's saying that like Harry's gonna come find him, that's what it reminded me of. Yeah. It was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was badass, but it's also one of those like the villain gets overly cocky, and that is his ultimate demise. Because had he been like, yeah, let's go find this thing together, like, he probably just would have caught Hawkeye, and that would have been the end of it. It was very important that he sat there and did nothing. And then, of course, it was really cool because then we get the the OG3 going at him.
For like 2 seconds.
Cap dual wielding.
Hold on. We get the OG3 for about 2 seconds, and then he knocks out Thor, knocks out Iron Man, and then he's fighting Cap. That's the main part of the fight, which is what I really enjoyed. But the three of them attack at once, Cap, and then boom, boom.
And for everybody asking how can Cap control the thunder and lightning, you got to go back to Thor 1 when Odin tells Thor, whoever wields and whoever's deemed worthy shall possess and be able to call upon the power of Thor. So there's your explanation, people.
Yeah, people. Go watch the first Thor because it was.
He was
okay.
He was hitting those Mortal Kombat combos on Thanos for a while. He was rocking him. He throws the shield, throws the hammer at the shield to make it like bounce back.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
That was a callback to the first Avengers when Thor hit Cap shield and that big like sonic boom happened. Mm-hmm. That like stunned Thor for like a split second. I mean Thanos. Yeah,
It-
that was
yeah,
really
like-
badass. And then
he stands up and he's ready to fight Thanos and his army like by himself. He's like, you know what?
that wide
I'll
shot.
do this.
Yeah.
I'll do this right here. Let's go, all of y'all.
How are you gonna avoid the I can do this all day? Come on, Taylor.
I mean, like I expected him to say it,
Yeah.
but I understand why they didn't, since they had already made a joke about it whenever he fought his like past self.
Yeah, it's already come up. They did
Yeah.
they did the reference once.
Like everyone in their head, like at a concert, whenever a singer stops singing and the entire audience just keeps singing the words, everyone in the audience was like, I can do this all day. They were saying it.
Mhm. Yeah, so you get the cool
that wide shot of just it was so good, man.
Yep.
Almost as beautiful as the wide shots in Thor Ragnarok, because those wide shots in that movie have to be the best Marvel's ever done.
I don't know, man. That wide shot of Captain America going up against everyone was just super impactful. And
Gash in
then-
his arm, broken
Yeah.
shield.
right, and then you get the little static, and you're like, what is that? And then you just hear on your left,
On your left, Cap. Yeah.
and which is awesome.
Yeah.
Call back to whenever Cap was running laps on Falcon.
You cried. You cried when the portals opened. Don't lie.
Oh yeah. No, I'm
yeah.
not ashamed.
That first portal opens and you're like, yeah, like awesome. Black Panther. You see him, he gives him that kind of nod, and Cap is just like, oh, thank God. I was ready for this, but I'm being honest, I wasn't looking forward to it.
Yep. And then all the portals and portals, everything is opening, and then just people just keep funneling out. And not only are you getting, Avengers that got snapped, you're getting their armies. You're getting the who else? Like the Marauders or whatever their names were from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
Yeah,
you're just getting
Oh, yeah.
literally everyone. I didn't see him in the movie, but I saw that he was on set. The dude who ended up with Yondu's
yeah, he's in the final whenever it's panning over once everyone is out. I'm pretty sure you see like a quick shot of him.
I just wanted to hear the little whistle, and I just wanted to see that thing, the little dart just flying through people. That would have been so cool.
I do have a question though. Where did Valkyrie get a Pegasus?
The Pegasus farm.
Did
No,
they
it was
take?
probably in New Asgard.
Did they take it with them on the ship, and then they took it with them on the escape pod once Thanos attacked?
Probably. I mean, how many Pegasus are there?
Pegasi?
Pegasi.
Because if there was only one, then it would have survived Thanos' snap, I'm assuming.
I mean, didn't her Pegasus die whenever she fought Hela? Or no, she escaped on it or something. No,
I don't remember.
I don't know. I saw her on it and I was like,
Pegasus
that-
died.
I was like, that's cool, but where did you get that?
Yeah.
So many questions. So yeah.
But
it
it
was
is great.
The theater I watched it in the first time. Yeah. The theater I watched it in wasn't that hyped. Throughout, I guess. It was on a Sunday. So I guess the 3 days was kind of past where the people that were going to react out loud reacted. I had mostly a quiet crowd.
Taylor and I went to the same showing. It would have been 11:30 on the Thursday that it came out, and our theater was hype.
When the final pan down of everyone, and then it gets to Cap, and he says, "Avengers, assemble." The crowd was loving it.
Yeah,
Like-
and this was probably the one time where it didn't annoy me. Like, I normally don't like whenever theaters are applauding. I'm like, okay, calm down. But this, like, I was like right alongside them. I was like, yes, let's do this.
It was so just, my heart was full of just happiness, and like it was everything I wanted in the big just like battle between all of your heroes and all of your all of the bad guys. Also, I do gotta say, the children
Okay.
of Thanos, they went out like really easily again. They didn't put up that much of a fight.
Okay, so before we wrap it up, let's count the dimensions we think are still left open since Cap went back. So there's 2014 Thanos. He left, never came back. So there's that reality, right? So there's one.
In a sense, yes.
Do we really think Cap went back and let everything happen the way it was supposed to happen? Or do you think he put a stop to it? Like he stopped Hydra before, he stopped Bucky from killing the Starks. Like
honestly, I don't know. Like, see, that's whenever the movie starts to kind of lose its footing in itself. Like, first of all, like how would Cap even go back and return all the stones back to where they originally were? Main one being the Soul Stone. You're telling me that he went to this other planet, had some interaction with Red Skull that we don't get to see, but I would have loved to have been in that room. And then he's just like, "Here you go, bro. I don't know. Let me kill this calf for you. I don't know how this works, but here you go."
I'm sure he used he returned all of the stones, and the last one he returned was the space stone, more than likely, and that's how he used it to get around to these places.
I mean, but how do you return the Soul Stone?
Return it to Voromir, and I'm pretty sure he gave it to Red Skull. They had some sort of interaction, and Red Skull knew how to like return it. Like, I'm sure he wasn't just like, "Oh, what do I do with this now?" Like, there are questions for sure, but like, Cap isn't dumb. I'm sure they planned it out before he went back.
I mean, I'm not saying Cap is dumb. I'm just saying that I don't know if that is possible. That's like buying a mattress and then trying to return it. Like, that's not how that works. It's been
most mattresses come with a 100-day guarantee, Justin.
Do you think the Soul Stone has a 100-day guarantee?
I mean,
I don't know.
That would have been an interesting conversation between Cap and Red Skull. Do you have your warranty?
Yeah, sorry, it's out of warranty. Oh, you tore the tag off. Oh, where's your receipt?
See, 2014, 2019, 5 years. It's past the limit.
Yeah, that's the old model Soul Stone.
Oof.
Yep. But yeah, I think like once you start trying to get into the dimensions, it gets weird.
But they had to set up their TV shows.
Loki escapes with the Tesseract.
Yeah, which is going to be Loki's.
Yeah, there's
TV
a 2014. Yeah. Do we think there's a 2014 do we think since Natasha sacrificed herself, that splits itself into a different dimension since there's no Natasha potentially like after that timeline? No, there would be, because that was future Natasha.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically future Natasha is always going to go back in time and have that happen. Like that is future. That is Natasha's timeline.
Yep.
Yeah, but honestly, like if I'm being honest, I don't think they're going to touch on any of that other than, and we'll get into this with Spider-Man. I don't think they're going to touch on much of those things, at least in the MCU. I think they'll, like Taylor said, I think they'll use it for their TV shows to kind of explain how these TV shows can work. But I don't know if they'll touch on like how it all ties into like the main one. I think they'll do like little spin-offs here and there, but I don't know.
Yeah. So before we move on to Spider-Man, was there anything else you wanted to say about Endgame?
I am so happy that Cap got to live his life and, go back and marry, Peggy Carter, have a life, presumably like a family. I am a little sad that he didn't take Bucky back with him to also have a life. But just there's going to be the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or I guess now Captain America Winter Soldier show. I don't know what they're going to call it.
Falcon America.
Probably just Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, takeaways. I think Scarlet Witch is going to be a whole lot more important than she's been recently. Did you see how easily she was fucking Thanos up?
Yeah, she almost single-handedly killed Thanos. That was the first time that we ever saw Thanos genuinely scared.
Yep. He had to use the
Um,
Power Stone just to fuck her up.
Yeah. Well, even then, like, he was about to get killed, and he had to bring down a fucking hailstorm of missiles just to get her off of him.
She
Yeah.
is probably the
Um,
strongest. Like either her or Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel's comes from the Space Stone, and then like the Tesseract, and then Wanda's comes from the Mind Stone. So they're both powered by Infinity Stones.
True.
So I wonder who would win in, like, if they ever like clashed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Civil War 2.
Well, I think they're. I
I
think
can,
they're.
I can only hope.
I think they are going to be more important though, because now they're getting into like with Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and now Mysterio in Spider-Man. Like they're buying more into like the magic side of things. So I think
Yep.
I think that Scarlet Witch is going to play a huge role going forward.
do you think she could be our gateway into the X-Men coming into the MCU?
No.
No, I don't.
I think
Yeah.
I think I don't think they're ever going to call her a mutant. I don't think Magneto is ever going to be her father. I think the multiverse is going to be the gateway to the X-Men.
Seems like the
And the
easiest
Fantastic
way.
Four. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Without having to explain, like, hey, where were all these X-Men during the entire events of all of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest and safest bet for sure.
So you mentioned Mysterio. So, go ahead. Taylor,
Before we
if you had
move on to
anything else
Spider-Man,
before we move on.
I do want to say Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Iron Man has been just phenomenal, and it really it I don't know if they could have cast someone better to play that role, to be their linchpin, to be the one that like catapults the Marvel, the MCU forward. And it's gonna be sad, now that he sacrificed himself. It's gonna be weird watching a Marvel movie knowing, there's no Iron Man, there's no Tony Stark. But it just
And you
is.
know who we have to thank for Robert Downey Jr.? Jon Favreau. Because it was going to be Tom Cruise.
Oh, I like Tom Cruise, but I'm glad he didn't play Iron Man.
We can thank Jon Favreau for Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
It's just it was meant to be. Robert Downey
Yep.
Jr. was the 1 in 14 million possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he did a fantastic job.
okay,
It's
so-
going to be weird moving forward, but
Him and Chris Evans.
I think
Well,
they
did y'all
have
hear the-
solidified. I think they have solidified that their footprints will ripple throughout the remaining MCU, and we're gonna get into it. But the Spider-Man trailer, it was actually really surprising that they acknowledged what they did. I didn't think that they were gonna do that. I thought they were just gonna blow right past it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, real quick, before we jump into Spider-Man, do y'all think the Tony Stark smithing the first Iron Man suit at the end of the credits was intentional or just a nod?
I would say it's just a nod. I mean, intentional how? Like, does it hint at something?
Intentional, like, yeah.
No, I don't think it hints towards anything. I think it's just a callback to, like,
The launch of it all.
I mean, maybe the launch of it all, but I was thinking more along the lines of, no matter your beginnings, like, that doesn't necessarily determine how you're going to end your story. I think it's always important to remember at the end of someone's story, like, where they began and how far they've come. So I think that was like, this is where it started. It started in a cave in Iraq. Such unexpected beginnings led to basically the salvation of Earth as they knew it.
Of the universe.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, let's move on to Spider-Man then. We got a Spider-Man trailer, and holy shit, was it awesome! We get Tom Holland warning us that there's going to be spoilers for Avengers Endgame, which was nice of Marvel and Sony to throw in there. That was cool.
Yeah, but funny enough,
and
so
then-
Alamo Drafthouse posts that trailer on their Facebook, and of course Facebook,
Yeah.
auto plays videos. And I wanted to see what people were saying about the trailer, so I looked at the comments, and the one and only comment on there was, "Wow, I can't believe you guys put this on there, even though there's spoilers for Endgame and blah 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 blah. Like, you guys are such jerks." I was like, dude, it auto plays, and there's like a good 15 seconds of Tom Holland sitting there
Holland,
saying
yeah.
like, "Hey, there's spoilers coming. Look away." It's like, what are you talking about? People just like to complain.
Yeah. We get hit with an Iron Man mural like right off the top. Teary-eyed Spider-Man talking to John Favreau.
Happy.
Number one, my number one question for this movie: did everybody involved with Peter Parker get vanished into Snap because they would all be 5 years older and not in high school anymore?
It would have to be that way, yeah.
It seems like everyone important. Like, I'm sure maybe some random students, but like as far as like his friends and like Flash and stuff, I think they all got snapped, which is lucky.
Yeah, I hate
for
that they're
him.
making Flash lovable. I hate that they're making Flash lovable. It's
Why do you think Flash
not
is
my thing.
lovable?
He gets sack tapped, and then he's like, "You work for Spider-Man." He's got a lot of comedic stuff. He's supposed to be hated. You're not supposed to like Flash.
That's not lovable though. I still dislike
Yeah.
this person.
I think it's perfect because in the
Like-
comics, like that's the funny part about Flash is like he hates Peter Parker, but he loves Spider-Man, and he doesn't realize that's the same person.
I think Joe Manganiello played like the perfect Flash in the first Spider-Man, and we didn't get to see him evolve.
I
With
think
Tobey Maguire.
I think that they went in like a different direction with Flash. Like they didn't go for the stereotypical jock. I think they went for a bully, or like, for lack of a better term, douchebag. That is
A Chad.
I wouldn't call him a Chad.
Cyberbully.
I think
He's
he's
a
definitely
cyberbully.
he's just a douche. He's just a
Yeah.
but he's somebody that kids going to see Spider-Man could be like, that's a bully. I know that kid and I don't like him. I think the jock thing ran its course.
Mhm.
I like, it's not a big thing like jocks and cheerleaders and stuff. I don't know. But I wouldn't say that Flash is lovable.
My favorite line out of this whole thing, whenever Fury is talking to Peter, and he's trying to convince him to come, and Peter's like, "No, I can't do this. What about so and so? What about so and so?" And he's like, "I can't do it. I'm just this regular old person."
I'm
Favorite line.
I'm just a friendly neighborhood spider.
And Fury's like, "Bitch, no, you aren't. You've been to space."
Yep.
I'm glad. Like, I don't know why that was so funny to me. It was just like, yes, like, stop saying that.
Well,
You're
it's
an
also-
Avenger.
It was also great too whenever it was like whenever Nick Fury was calling him and he was like, "I'm not answering it," and Happy was like, "Well, I'm not doing it. Like, I don't want to talk to Nick Fury." It's just like nobody wants to talk to Nick Fury.
Does Peter Parker
Yeah.
realize that he held like the strongest power in the universe in his hands? Like, does he realize the amount of power he had when he was holding the gauntlet?
I would say
don't think he did.
Oh.
Like somebody tweeted at Tom Holland, like, "Why do you always have this stupid expression like you don't know what's going on in your face in all these movies?" And he tweeted, "Because I don't know what's going on." Like, that's perfect.
That's true. I think Tom Holland plays a great Spider-Man though, and so getting
Yeah.
into the trailer, I mean, like you said, it opens up with the Iron Man thing, the Iron Man mural, and pretty much the whole trailer is based all around like moving beyond everything that's happened. And like I said, like I wasn't expecting that tone for this trailer. I thought that it was just gonna be, maybe some subtle nods to Endgame, like someone talks about like, "Oh, I'm sorry that Tony Stark is dead," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that it was gonna have such impact in the story, and it seems like that's the catalyst of what's gonna spark like Peter Parker and MJ's like relationship. I think he's gonna start appreciating life more. I think he's gonna start being
Oh yeah.
a little bit more bold, you know, going after the girl he likes. You know, just stuff like that.
It'll be I I hope that the scene where she says, "Oh, you're Spider-Man." I hope that that's real and she actually means that. I
Or
really hate the whole storyline of like, "Oh, I can't tell the person that I love that I'm this." And it's like, "Oh, they almost find out." And then that goes on for a couple movies. I'm like, "No, just get that out of the way. We've seen it before. We get it.
yeah.
I
I-
understand this."
I don't think that that's a genuine line. I think it's gonna be like, "Yeah, you're Spider-Man." And he's gonna be like, "What? No, I'm not. No, I'm not." And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm kidding. Come on, Peter. Like, what are you talking about?"
It's so played
So-
out.
It is, but
I
you
know-
know, Spider-Man.
I know they're saying that this is like the epilogue for Phase 3, but do we think the introduction of Mysterio could be Phase 4's big villains being the Sinister Six?
Mm,
I don't think the Sinister Six are big enough to be a villain like that.
yeah,
Or-
Because we got Scorpio.
I don't know if they're gonna make Mysterio a villain in this. I don't know. Just
Oh yes, they are. He's Beck's a liar through and through. I mean, in the
don't-
comics, he's a liar.
No, don't get me wrong.
He's
I
an
know-
actor. I mean,
I know he's an actor, but like the fact that his whole thing is based around the multiverse, I don't know. There's just there was a lot of things that happened in the trailer that also makes me believe that he is a good guy. Him being in what looks like a, I mean, it looks like he works with Nick Fury. Like he was in that like security spy looking base. Like I don't know. He just doesn't seem
Yeah.
like just some Joe Schmo actor who's doing like fake magic tricks.
Do you after
know,
the
man.
whole Hydra thing? I don't think Nick Fury would lightly trust somebody again like that. And I don't know if it did turn out for him to like be lying the whole time, it would just feel kind of cheap and just like really like Fury would have seen that.
It just depends on how I guess it's played out. Like if they do it in some like really different way, then maybe. But I just hope it's not a I hope it's not just like a face value, like aha, I was an actor the whole time, sort of thing.
Something might happen that turns him evil or something like that.
Maybe, or if his whole thing
Yeah.
is like he's from the multiverse, but in the multiverse he's nobody, and he sees this as an opportunity to be somebody in this universe. Like he can be a hero because he can do things that maybe people in this universe don't really do, but in his universe it's very like commonplace.
It could set up our like the main universe's Mysterio, who like sees on the news sees like this other universe's Mysterio, and then that's where he starts acting and pretending like him, and he's like, oh yeah, I can do that, but everything he does isn't what that dude can do because he's just a regular Joe Schmo who is good at like magic tricks and like illusions and deception.
I like that, Taylor. I didn't even think of that, but I like that.
Mm-hmm.
what do we think the elementals are?
Initially, I thought they were tricks from Mysterio, but now I think they might just be, was it like Hydro Man?
Yeah, they're like
And-
actual villains.
Yeah.
Like confirmed, like Hydro Man and oh gosh, I can't. It's not Sandman. It's
Rock.
yeah.
Oh,
There's
God,
there's a couple of them.
We got Sandman in Spider-Man 3. I don't think we need another one.
Yeah.
That was just horrible.
They could do a better one than that. Also,
I just want a Doc Ock. That's all I want.
oh yes,
Doc Ock is such a cool character.
Doc Ock, and then eventually leading that to Superior Spider-Man. That would be
Oh.
amazing.
Oh, don't get my hopes up.
if this multiverse theory opens the door for Miles Morales to be in the MCU, I will be so happy.
Oh, don't get my hopes up.
Taylor, we don't.
Miles
hold on,
Morales, Spider
hold on.
Gwen.
We don't need the multiverse for Miles Morales. He already exists in the MCU. Do not
Does
forget,
he?
his uncle is the one that Yeah, his uncle was the one that
Oh.
Peter
Yeah.
webbed to the trunk of the car.
Yeah,
It-
you're right. Yeah, I
but-
forgot
but-
that.
Peter is so young in this universe, it would take a while for him to for it to make sense chronologically.
Not if Miles didn't get snapped.
Mm.
I mean,
These are all good points. He would be 5 years older, closer to Peter's age.
yeah, that does make sense.
These are all valid arguments.
Either way, if they wanted to bring him in, I would be more than for it.
I would love it. I love Miles Morales.
And Spider-Gwen, I still haven't recovered since Gwen Stacy died in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
R.I.P. Emma Stone.
I'm never gonna get
yeah.
over it. My back still hurts to this day watching it. That might be one
Her
of the
career
most,
died along.
oh
Her career died with her in that scene. R.I.P. Emma Stone. Okay, so
yeah, that was the
what
trailer.
else we got? Keeping it in the MCU, rumors have emerged that Black Widow has begun pre-production, the Black Widow movie. Have y'all heard anything about that?
No.
nothing confirmed yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would be.
So
I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
what I read on
mean,
comicbook.com, what I read on comicbook.com is that Scarlett Johansson is on site in the same place where they shot Rise of Skywalker, which is where this movie is said to be filming.
crossover.
I mean, how would that even work though? Like a Black Widow movie now, would it just be like a throwback to something to give Scarlett Johansson? I mean, do we go to realities when he's returning the stones?
It'll probably be
Just thinking like
when
origin story.
when she's a spy. When her and Hawkeye are working together, maybe we finally get the Budapest mission.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be big. I mean, I don't know, because I can't see it. I can't see it like leading to anything else. You know, like I think it'll just be like a self-contained, like, you know, one and done sort of thing.
Like Venom. Yeah. Let's see. We got excuse me. We got the 3 new release dates for the next Star Wars trilogy. Were announced today.
Yeah, and they also pushed back Avatar.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do we think? Is this going to be the Knights of the Old Republic thing that everybody's been talking about, or?
I hope so. Knights of the Old Republic has always been a favorite of mine, just because there's so much more Sith and Jedi around. It makes it feel more. It feels better. Because also eventually that could lead into a Darth Bane movie, which would be just peak Star Wars.
Let me see. What else do I have here on the thingy? This is something to touch on. The Sonic trailer. We didn't talk about that last week.
We covered it a little bit.
Thoughts?
Oh, did we?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We covered it, and none of us enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
looks meh. But but whenever we talked about it, the whole like them remodeling Sonic didn't happen
Yeah.
yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's true.
Which I think I've said this on Twitter, maybe, or it might have been on Twin Stick Radio. Go check it out. But I think that if they are willing to go back and remodel Sonic, I think that means that they have hope for the movie. They don't think that it's just a lost cause, which is good.
I mean,
It's not just like a throwaway thing, I guess. Yeah.
Because like a ton of people make movies that are garbage, and they know it's garbage. It's just a cash grab, and they just throw it out there, and you know they make their money back, they make some profit, and then they move on. But with this, Maybe they genuinely think, hey, this can be good. The writing is good. The jokes are good. Jim Carrey's good. We don't want people to not see this just because Sonic looks bad. Maybe I'm being over optimistic. Maybe they just want to make money and they think that doing this will help.
I mean,
Also, Sega has come out and said that they are not really working on any new IPs right now. They're going to really focus on their core games and IPs that they've already made. So maybe Sega doesn't want them messing up Sonic so bad that people don't want to play Sonic games or anything with Sonic anymore. So it might have been a big call from Sega as well.
I mean, it's honestly
Okay.
probably a combination of all of those things.
Yeah, I mean,
Just yeah.
will I see it? Maybe.
Uh,
Because
I
I like going to the draft house.
I am a Jim Carrey fan, and I've liked most of his movies. So despite crazy Jim Carrey, whatever, whenever he's in a movie, I'll probably still go see it because I do like his
Yeah, me
humor
too.
and his sense of his comedic timing and whatnot is still it's enjoyable.
So, did y'all catch? Hold on, real quick. How long have we been on? A little bit over an hour.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah. Did y'all catch before the Game of Thrones episode this week the Watchmen footage?
I did not because I don't watch cable.
No, well, no, it's on it was on HBO now too. Like they play that pre-roll stuff.
Well, that's
we
usually
got to-
whenever I'm
we-
getting ready. I usually hit play.
Uh,
I get my blankets.
yeah.
I usually watch it, but this time
yeah,
I didn't.
We got to see Rorschach at the end of the trailer, like at the end of the footage.
Okay, I walked
Looks
in
like
and I
Rorschach,
saw
but-
something and I was like, "What is that?" But Cat didn't
Yeah.
know what it was, so
Huh. It was,
so it's HBO. HBO is doing a Watchmen series. It just from the footage I've seen, I mean, it looks good, but I mean, Rorschach looks like Rorschach, which I mean, it's not hard to miss. He's
I mean,
face guy.
the one that's going to be the hardest is going to be Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they differentiate themselves from the movie because the movie is just so iconic whenever people think of Watchmen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like how do you separate yourself enough to where you're not literally just like this movie was already made. Why do we need a TV show?
Yeah.
But don't make it too different to where people just don't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they can
True.
go more in depth on the characters because a TV show can do that. It can spend more time developing and showing the audience like why this character does things that they do, and I think a lot more people will sort of just like how some people could probably kind of see what Thanos was talking about. People could see Ozymandias's point of view a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe create some like divisive like how how HBO loves to do with Game of Thrones, like at least up until now, there wasn't always like a clear bad guy or a clear good guy. You could fall on like either side.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool if they did that.
Yeah.
He is still my favorite character from Watchmen. Ozymandias is I enjoy the character altogether. Questionable choices for sure, but I enjoy the character.
I like Rorschach, but also I like Jackie Earl Haley, like the actor who played him. So that helps too.
Yeah. Not a good choice for that dude to play Freddy Krueger. Just throwing that out there.
I think it is a perfect choice because not to hate on Mr. Haley, it's very fitting for how he looks.
But he wasn't good. He just wasn't good.
The movie had other problems more than just Freddy Krueger.
Okay, so I just got a notification that the Witcher Netflix series wrapped today filming.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
So that means trailer incoming soon, hopefully.
Hmm.
That I'm actually Henry Cavill was an interesting choice.
He had a lot of free time now, so
Yeah, yeah, but shit, man.
I mean, I'm
Netflix is
excited.
doing some good stuff with all these properties.
Yeah, I'm excited that it's Netflix. I love Netflix's uh release
Original
model. I
series.
guess. No, I just like that like Netflix makes really good shows or movies and then just puts them out. You can watch all of it.
Oh,
Yep.
all at once.
Yeah, like it's great.
But then
Yeah.
you binge that in like 2 days, and you're like, what do I do now for the next year?
Year.
Right.
Let me rewatch this about a million times, which I have done.
The new season of Lucifer looks really solid too. Like it looks really good. How he's like obsessed with Eve, and that could be the downfall of him. And
See,
I mean,
I
it's
haven't
going to be
watched
really
that yet.
cool.
There's so many Netflix originals that I still need to watch.
It's such a.
I was hoping that Netflix would pick up Constantine from CW, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
Oh, speaking of CW, they did finally order a full season of Batwoman.
Oh, how was it? I
Mhm.
didn't get to see the crossover. Like she looked a little gimmicky in like the screenshots that I saw.
She was badass. And oh my gosh, what is her name? Ruby Rose.
Yeah, Ruby Rose.
Yeah, the perfect casting for that sort of like I don't care, like kind of like badass
Yeah.
kind of demeanor that you have to have, if you're living in Gotham, like to survive.
Yeah.
So that she definitely pulled it off very well. You don't see too much of her, but you see enough to go. I want to see more. I want to see more of what you do, of
Okay.
you being a hero, or just someone who's like, I'm not really a hero. I'm just doing this because you're all shitheads.
Yeah. Okay,
Speaking
so
of
did y'all watch
shitheads,
the?
Ted Bundy?
Oh,
What a great movie, right? Did y'all
What a
watch it?
fantastic movie! I love that movie.
It was so
did you see
good.
it yet?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh, would recommend.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Zac
Okay, so watch
Efron
it before we record because I
is
want
a
to talk
dreamboat.
about this next week. It's so good. They make you feel bad for Ted Bundy.
There are multiple
great.
times. There are multiple times, and this is not a spoiler because it's Ted Bundy. There are multiple times where
Spoiler.
I'm watching this movie and I'm like, man, I hope he gets out of this okay. And
Yeah,
then
like, there's no way he-
and then it hits you like, wait, this guy's a fucking psycho. It's Zac Efron and
Oh
the
my God.
writers, everyone who was a part of that movie did a fantastic job. It was
So good. So good. Yep. Man, just that final scene too, like in the visitation room. Ooh.
Do you feel like it's a good thing for movies to try and sort of romanticize, people like him that did stuff like
No.
he did?
I would say that
No.
they didn't necessarily romanticize him. I think some people are taking that and running with it, like in headlines. They
Mhm.
did a good job at showing how he was able to do what he did, because the real Ted Bundy, lots of people talked about his his sex appeal and his charisma and all these things that
He's
were just
charming.
Yeah, just charming. And it's really easy, like, hindsight 2020. He's a murderer.
Yeah.
How could he be that charming, you idiot? But then this movie does a good job at showing like fuck, like it is kind of easy to fall for someone who is just that charming.
Perfect
so
cast choice. Perfect casting choice.
Yeah, it was a great casting choice. I wouldn't say that they romanticize him. I think that it just does a really good job at showing just how everything happened. And they do a really good job, not to spoil anything, they do a really good job at showing you what does happen. And that kind of like, it's not filmed in a way of like, oh, did he do it? Did he not do it? Sort of thing. There are parts that are like that, but then it does kind of hit you at other parts where it's like, oh fuck, yeah, he did it. He's just trying to get away with it at this point.
And they keep
If it was like a like, oh, I don't know, did he do it? Did he not do it? You decide. Then I think it would be a little like, should we really be glorifying this guy? But they do a good job at showing the real stuff too.
and they do a good job of not letting you romanticize him by showing you how he fucked up this woman's life that was in his life,
Mhm.
to the point where she was ready to break. Like, he just kept on telling her, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, and she kept on trying to figure out if she believed him because that was her fiance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy, man. And John Malkovich is so good as the judge.
Yes.
So good, man. He's so good. Go watch it, Taylor. Highly recommend. That is a 10 out of 10. When it's raining outside, you have nothing to do, and you just want to watch something. Just watch it, man. It's worth the 145 that it takes to watch this movie.
I will put it on my list.
Another thing I want to talk about next week, if you haven't watched it, is the series finale of Gotham.
Yes,
So let's put that on our list.
Yeah.
That's really all I had to talk about tonight, guys. We're about to hit 90 minutes.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good stuff all around, except for Game of Thrones, but it's fine.
You can't win them all, Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if anything else before I start wrapping it up, guys?
No, not for me.
Nope. Take us away, Rich.
Cool. Thank you guys for watching live. If anybody watched live, Justin, did we have any live viewers?
Yeah, we had a couple.
Cool. Thank you for watching live. Interact with us. If you have something you want us to talk about, let us know in chat. Justin always keeps an eye on chat. If you like the show, you can just always watch it back on the twitch.com/twinstick radio page. Audio version should be coming soon. Also, I made us an Instagram, so you can go find us. Just look for Eat, Geek, Sleep, Repeat on Instagram. Facebook page should be up by tonight or tomorrow as well. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find me at Rich Needs Rez. You can find Justin at Justin T. Lopez, and you can find Taylor at T. Sings to Rice. That's it. That's episode 3 of Eat, Geek, Sleep, Repeat, guys. Good job. It was awesome. Thanks for talking.
Yay!
Woo! How about to close this out, Justin? Give us a little Thanos snap.
Ooh. Okay. Here we go. I am Justin.
Nice.